Let's talk interest rates at the beginning of this video because y'all have been absolutely spoiled, and I'm included in the y'all section. We have had such low interest rates for almost 10 years at this point, and we have to look at some historical averages because you think that 7% is high and you're not making a move, you're not buying, you're not investing, you're just saying it's too high of a rate. But let me tell you something, 7% is the average, 6.5 to 7 has been the average since the 1950s. That is almost 80 years. So if you think that we're going to come back to 0% Fed fund rate, which would mean about a 2.5–3% rate for you on a home purchase, I think you're sadly mistaken. And you know, guys, I never ask you to subscribe in my videos, but today I'm going to put out the ask. If you enjoy my videos, if you like this real estate information and economic data that I put out, please consider subscribing and liking this video. And I really appreciate comments that you guys make. I pretty much answer every single one of them as well. So with our current, quote unquote, high interest rates, let's just say 7%, the average price or the median price of a home being just under $400,000, that payment comes out to right around $2,800. But if we had rates at 3%, you would be somewhere closer to $1,800, which is almost 33% savings. Is 1/3 off. And let me tell you something, if rates do fall, you can refinance and you can get into that lower payment. So what are you even complaining about? Just because you have to take a temporary hit to paying a higher interest rate for now? If you really think interest rates are going to fall and you're stopping for yourself from buying, then let me ask you this. What's going to happen when interest rates do fall and you haven't bought a house yet? What do you think is going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Everyone's going to come out and buy properties, especially the investors. And I'm telling you, as an investor, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to buy as many properties as I could possibly get. Because if I can lock it up for 3 or 4% interest, then most likely the numbers are going to make sense in terms of a cash flowing property. Look at this chart that's provided by Freddy Mac or Fannie Mae. Yeah, Freddy Mac. And it shows you what the average rate has been. And this one goes back to like 1970 or so. It goes way back. I think this is when they started tracking it. So I don't think they have data from before then, at least not from this source, Freddy Mac. But the good news is that even though we are not at like historically high levels or anything like that, we are expected to have a couple rate cuts in 2024. Now, I don't think we're going to have 2. And if we do, I think when you add up the total percentage amount that they're going to cut, I think it might be 0.5% at best. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to cut for about just a little bit in July, maybe in June, and then in September, we're pretty much expecting to have a rate cut. And I don't think that it's going to be a 1% or anything that's going to make a significant impact. However, when they do make those changes, when they do adjust it, that's basically saying, hey, our inflation is more under control. But, Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, he's basically said that he's not going to cut the rates until we are at right around 2% inflation. And I don't think that's happening because we keep getting reports that get updated. And the most significant one that we have to be paying attention to is our jobs report. Now, the jobs report recently got updated, and this is what I hate about the reporting by the federal government. They say one thing, and then a few months later, they revise the numbers. And it ends up being that it was a lot worse than they reported. But by that time that they make the adjustment, the stock market rallied and people were feeling real good, But when they announce that we're in a recession, we're probably already coming out of the recession. That is what historically has been happening. Now, in 2023, our home prices went up, even though our interest rates also went up. Usually they are, inversely proportional. So when one goes up, the other one goes down. But this time around, 2023, we had home prices go up, even though the cost of borrowing money also went up. Are we going to have the same thing in 2024? Let me tell you this, I don't think so. I think what we're going to have is a slight cut, just a slight cut in our interest rates. So our interest rates will be a little bit lower. But then we're also going to have a home price appreciation happen. So prices are going to go up. Now, I don't know how much, probably like 2, maybe 3%. In 2023, they went up 4%. But prices are also affected not just by the interest rate, but by the supply. And we are having some skyrocketing numbers of inventory increasing. You know, the West has specifically had a ton of inventory. Let me just go over a few numbers. San Jose, California, 40% more listings. Also in Phoenix, 22%, 21% in San Diego, and 18% more listings in Denver, Colorado. And because all of these inventories are increasing, and inventory just means how many homes for sale there are at any given time available for you to buy or make an offer on. As this keeps going up, some of them are going to get desperate, slash their prices. I recently saw a condo, I couldn't believe it, listed at right around 300, went under contract for 185. I have a client that's closing on something. The list price was 700,000 or 800,000, getting it with a seller credit. On top of the price reduction, we're also getting a $12,000 seller credit. That one, 525. Listen, you can get deals, but I've also had another client that has just made a series of lowball offers and nothing has happened yet. We continue to make lowball offers. So not everyone and not every market is going to have the desperation that some other areas have. And I don't know about the desperation in San Diego. I don't know that market at all. I only know the Sarasota, Florida, and Bradenton, Florida, and Northport and so on in our local area, what's actually happening. And I'm thinking about doing something. What does it hurt to make some lowball offers? The only thing it could possibly hurt is a little bit of my reputation, meaning that some agents are going to get mad at me that I'm the guy that takes those clients that lowball, okay? And that's okay. Listen, I will take clients that lowball. I will take clients that pay full price. I'm in the business of serving. I'm not worried too much what other agents think about me. So maybe, just maybe, I might go out there and start lowballing properties. I would love to buy a property for my brother and to get him into a nice home that has a yard and everything. So maybe that's the way to do it. Just lowball, you know, 30 to 40% and see what sticks. I know that there will be something that sticks sooner or later. And regardless of the interest rate, let's just circle back to that. The interest rate, if they're supposed to go down 2 times in 2024, and actually in 2025, we're expected to be at right around 6.6%. So now, I don't know if that's the beginning or middle or end, but you know, 6.6% is not bad at all for an interest rate. And even that 1 or half a point difference makes a big difference on your monthly payment. And if our interest rates do go down, like significantly, we're gonna have more home appreciation. And here's the beauty. If you don't buy now, I know I'm an agent. I know I'm a salesperson. Okay, got it. I know that I'm biased. And if interest rates go down, where are you gonna be? If you're currently renting and you didn't buy anything, and you're waiting for that, let's just say 5.5% interest rate, well, it's quite possible you're gonna find yourself in a position where you're competing with a lot of other buyers, including investors. And if you end up buying something now, there's a really good chance that you're gonna be able to refinance and lower your payment by $100 to $400 per month on a median price home. So what are you waiting for? I say buy something. There's no point in waiting. There's no point in delaying. And really, there's no point in continually paying rent.